What's holding you back? Or maybe even more pointed, what has held you back thus far this week? As we approach the midweek point, you have enough data. I've said this many, many times on a Wednesday. You have enough data from the beginning of the week to then take that information, course correct if where required, and then give yourself the best opportunity for success as you're moving forward towards the end of the week. So specifically for this week, what I want you to do is pay attention to what held you back. What wasn't quite as smooth as it could and should have been? Who was a wee bit more difficult than I thought they were going to be? What took a wee bit longer than you anticipated that it was going to take? Who put barriers or blockages in your way? How did you actually perform? Did you get in your way? Was it you that held you back? You slept in, you weren't eating correctly, you're kind of sluggish, you didn't catch up on the laundry, you didn't get your food organised for the week. You know, whatever that looks like, there's going to be a whole bunch of different things that are going to impact and influence your life, and some of them are going to be somewhat detrimental. And it could be incrementally detrimental as well. It's not something maybe that you say, this just put me at a complete stop, but it's an inconvenience. And inconveniences are distracting. And when you're distracted, you're not fully focused on exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing, and that becomes a wee bit inefficient. So then when you're moving forward, you're not quite as productive, you're not quite as fluid or fluent as you were planning to be. So look at the beginning part of the week up to and including this point right here and start to think, create a list about what held you back. What was a wee bit less than you thought it was going to be, which became a wee bit of an inconvenience, or a big bit of an inconvenience, of course, and then start to think about, right, okay, what was my role in that? Was there any role? How can I foresee that in the future, and how can I head that off at the pass and take some proactive action to minimise or eliminate that from the remainder of the week and future weeks after this too? So think about that. You have the information already. Some of it just comes up and then you think, oh, that was really inconvenient. You address it, you move on, and you're just marching forward. You're leaving the scene of a learning without actually extracting the learning, and that's very, very disappointing, and you don't need to do that. Please pause, write down the list of the things that didn't go the way that you were hoping they were going to go thus far, and what are you going to do to course correct and make sure that they don't cause the same type of style of hassle again in the future, and especially for the remainder of this week.